Start recording. Hey guys, Bobby Thompson back with another video, and in this video we're going to talk about trolling the masses, something NASA's been doing since 1958. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. And we're going to start with cosmological trolling, right? This is something they love to do. And we have a planet called Uranus. I think that's trolling altogether. You can call it Uranus, whatever you want, but Uranus reeks. It really stinks. It smells like farts and urine. If you didn't know that, it's confirmed by Mark Hofstadter, a planetary scientist at NASA, and they want to probe Uranus as well. They want to probe it. Hopefully, before 2040 they'll get to probe that. And this is an article from space.com. I leave links when I can. And if you didn't know it, both on Neptune and Uranus, it rains down diamonds, right? So you might have heard Lucy in the Sky with diamonds, a little double entendre there. But yeah, diamonds. There's just space is littered with diamonds. And I made this little. It rains down diamonds on Saturn and Jupiter. But yeah, it rains down diamonds on Saturn and Jupiter as well. Feel free to Google it. There's entire planets made out of diamonds. One of them's worth like 29 nonillion. It's an inconceivable number. This is Jupiter's moon, Io, basically a gumball. Looks real to me. I don't know how anyone could doubt that. And if you doubt it, just look up Jupiter's moon, Io, and you'll know that it's real. And this is Saturn. Saturn has a hexagon at the top. This is a cloud formation, just a natural cloud formation, because these clouds swirl and just make a hexagon, right? And there's nothing paganistic about this, just the fact that Saturn is the sixth planet from the sun, and it's has a hexagon at the top, and that's just all a coincidence, and it's real because it looks so fake. And this is Pluto. Pluto, the planet, was discovered in 1930, the same year that Pluto the dog was featured by Disney. And this may look like Pluto the dog here, but it's absolutely not. That is just a coincidence. But there, you can see it for yourself. That is just a coincidence. This is Jupiter. And feel free to look around, see if you see anything. This is not one of those, paint things they do on tabletops at all. This is not done that way. But this is not a dolphin. It looks like a dolphin, but it's absolutely not a dolphin, because that would make no sense at all. And this is from NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. And they discovered this. I guess this is like a mountain with a divot in it or whatever. And this isn't a teddy bear. It looks like a teddy bear, but it's not. It's just a coincidence. And take all the time you need looking at the Earth here. See if you see anything that looks out of the ordinary to you, because this is a blue marble. This is the Blue Marble 2015. This is an official NASA. It comes from NASA Discover satellite, right? And if you flip it over, it has an S, an E, and an X. Now you can see the line there for the E right there. There's three lines, and you have an S and you have an X, right? Because that's perfectly natural patterns to have sticks as patterns, and E's and X's. There's nothing weird about that at all. Just like the sun smiling at us, it's totally normal. This comes from NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory. That's not a troll at all. The sun was just happy that day. This comes from the James Webb telescope, and this is I'm guessing a star. It has to be a star, and this appears to be a galaxy. And the galaxy is just scooching out of the way for the star, right? It's continuing to I guess have its its rotation, but it's just rotating bent, right? And this is right there where that came from. There's the URL. If you want to look at it, you can just type SMACS023, and this image will come up, because this doesn't look like the floor of a disco rink at all. And they like to do phallic trolling. So this is right out of their Apollo mission flight plan, and it's not a herniated testicle here. This is not an engorged, you know, thingamabobber. And this little, you know, yeah, this is not, none of this is what you think it is, right? This is clearly a engorged flight path with a herniated orbit. And they love this. They're very proud of this. This way of showing this. This is in one of their books. The book you can buy it on Amazon. It's called Apollo Expeditions to the Moon, the NASA History 50th Anniversary Edition hardcover. And yeah, that's right on the inside of it. Many people. This is someone who had it obviously signed by all the astronauts, and I'm sure they all got a giggle out of that. And this is from JP. You can see the URL there, robotics, jplnasa.gov. You can just type that in, or you can just type in like penis picture Mars. Right. This is going to come up because supposedly the rover went and made a testicle here and a testicle there and drove up, you know, the length of a shaft and then spun a little thing there and then took off. And it was just a malfunction, right? And they like to do ritual trolling, right? This is some, I don't know what this would mean. You know, it's just something they picked up that they do that's coincidental, and it's not paganistic in nature in any way. It's just a thing they like to do. And here we have Ed White, Gus Grissom, and Roger Chaffee. If I'm saying that right, Chaffee, I'm not sure, but I don't know. I put this here, even though it doesn't fully show. You know, I don't know if they're praying to this. I don't know what this symbolizes. I don't know. I think it's trolling. They like to troll in the truth, right? If you're not familiar with astronaut Mae Jemison, she was an actress on Star Trek, right? And then she became an astronaut because that makes total sense, right? Just like Jack Black's mom being writing code for NASA. It always happens, right? Like they're just astronauts and actors. They have things in common. I don't know what they are, or what they would have in common, but apparently there's qualities that are, you know, in that mix there. Yeah, Dr. Mae Jemison, the one-time Star Trek actress who beat William Shatner to space. What are the odds? And the Apollo 6 crew have a moon on the Hollywood Walk of Fame with you know, all their names on it. Neil, you know, this is the Hollywood Mark of Fame. I don't know why they would have that. It's not trolling at all. Here you have a photo of Eugene Cernan, Thomas P. Stafford, and John W. Young. And it says, I mean, what you're seeing here is from the, if you've heard I'm going to call it a parable, I might be wrong there, but speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil. And they're not the only ones to do it. This is like almost a ritualistic thing, right? No, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. But why would you say that? Because that means something, right? That in the West, in the Western world, the phrase is often used to refer to those who deal with impropriety by turning a blind eye. That is what it means. That's what hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil means. It means you cover your eyes, you don't see it, right? You don't hear it. So yeah, why would they be doing that? This is a favorite of mine, IQ trolling. IQ trolling, because this is right from the official NASA website. I'm gonna give you the link to it in just a second on the next page. If anyone that doubts the authenticity of this astronaut has his boots on backwards, right? I mean, this is there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're backwards, right? They go on a right way. There's a right way and a wrong way, and his boots are backwards. Who are we hiring that can't put on their boots correctly, right? Well, this was astronaut Rex Walheim, right? And this is the link to you can just type this in right there. Type in those letters and numbers and it'll come up to this image. And I could do an entire video on Don Pettit alone. This man can't say COVID. He can't say it. He can't pronounce the word. Listen to this. This is after some time, right?
Don Pettit here from NASA. I'm at home due to the COVID-19 virus. Home due to the COVID-19 COVID-19 virus due to the COVID-19.
The man can't say COVID, right? This is, if you haven't figured it out yet, that this is not the brightest guy, he's not the brightest bulb, right? He's not the sharpest tool in the shed, however you want to say it. I'm not sure you should be designing space stations, which is something he claims to do. He claims to be an engineer on the space station, right?
Virus.
That's our best, guys.
Pettit here.
The best of the best.
From
Why is
NASA.
this thing not moving on?
Don Pettit here.
And here he is playing the didgeridoo. Look at him. This is representatives of our country, not just our country, of our Earth, right? This is what they're doing. This guy's cut up a T-shirt and he's playing a didgeridoo. Look, I've got no words. I could loop this and play it all day long because this is what we've got. This is what we're paying for. This is it right here. A sweaty, grungy dude with his shirt cut off and is showing his chest playing a didgeridoo, right? This can't put on his boots right, I'm sure. Now let's move on to toilet trolling. One of my favorites. This guy, astronaut Chris Cassidy, he's demonstrating how to use the toilet. He says it's a question they get all the time, but let's just, this is just a clip.
For airflow.
Yeah, there's one toilet on the ISS. They all use it, all the people up there. And it's probably used 20 times a day, right? Diarrhea, there's fecal matter on the walls. There's urine that's floated around and everything, but it's okay. Just touch it. Just touch it with your hand.
Check.
You can lick it a little bit while you're at it. It's no big deal.
You hear the fan noise.
Just touch it. Yeah, because that's where you pee, right? And now we have astronaut Samantha Ristoforetti. Let's watch this video real quick. This is where everyone sits their butt, right? All the astronauts, all day, every day, with their diarrhea, sometimes I'm sure they get upset in stomachs in space. That's where their butt sits on that, right? You know, some of these guys aren't in the best shape, a little sweaty, you know. But just touch it all, you know, just like rub your finger around it. Look, like, and this is where we sit, and I'm just going to rub my fingers around this. It's just a toilet. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I go into, you know, truck stops and do that all the time. I touch the toilet all around. And this is where all the, you know, the fecal matter goes, just right in there, and just touch the edge of it. And here's another astronaut. This is Chris Cassidy. Yeah, another Chris Cassidy. And he's showing, because this is where you sit your butt, and that's where the poop goes all around in there. You just touch in there, and you just touch all that, right? The poop gets sucked in these little holes, right? Well, not actually, you couldn't. That's another thing. This is for fumes. That's for defumigation, right? Like the thought process is that this vacuum here pulls away the fumes. But you just touch it all, right? All these, you just put your finger on it and wipe it all around. That's how you know they don't use any of this. And if they were here's another thing. See, that's a sealed bag, which if you watch this video, you'd go on to see, which tells you there can be no suction, because he shows putting a new bag in it and he pushes his hand down in it. So if you defecate, gravity can't make it drop. You just got, if you have diarrhea, it's just like floating around here. Yeah, the whole thing's laughable. So anyway, yeah, just touch that. That's what I do. And then, is this another one? Is it? Yeah, just touch the, oh, this is about the little poker thing, right? Look, he just sticks his hand down in there, and they've got this little metal poker thing. They just shove the poop all down in there. And that thing's not nasty at all. It's just, you just touch it. You touch all that stuff. And this is, we're going to watch this whole one, because this is the Soyuz. Watch how, this is a toilet demonstration on the Soyuz. It's a little bit longer, but it's worth it. They don't have this was before the ISS. This is on the Soyuz, right? Or this is their little pooper thing. And this is where they urinate and defecate at, right? So just watch how they touch everything. This is their crew only uses this several times a day, but this is where everyone pees at, right? And you just take it off and you just touch all around here. You just touch it all. It's okay. And the funny thing is here, where's the poop go? Because that thing's too small, right? I don't know about you guys. You can't think that it sucks. Like the suction can't bring it through there. It's like too small of a tube. So if you do poop in there, you've got a big old number 1 floating around in there, and maybe it gets stuck. The whole thing's hilarious, right? And then they're like, watch here, watch the suction go, and they both you just touch it like it's no big deal. They all touch it. Let's all touch it. I'll touch it some. You touch it some too. Yep, I'll touch it. You touch it. See? And yeah, just put it right there in front of your face, and we'll run some water in it so some little bubbles can, just in case some bounce or splashes a little bit. It's no big deal. And of course it's no big deal because this is not used in real life, right? This is all a joke. And look, they say at the end, they say, oh, you got to clean it. Oh yeah, you got to clean it. And look, they have 1 wipe here. There's exactly 1 wipe. This is where you go for the 1 wipe, but there's no other wipes, right? It's not like they had a big stash of wipes. You could pick this video apart on 20 different levels easily. Let's see. And you've got budget trolling. And this is just something I had to put in here because it's hilarious, right? It costs $43,000 per pound to send things up to the ISS. And this was in 2016, but it's still going to be comparable. It's going to move. It's going to shift with the economy, right? But let's just say it's $43,000 a pound, right? Who sends up a gorilla suit? It's on average 5 pounds. I averaged all these out. These numbers are me just doing research. Try to be as fair as possible. $216,000 basically. Yeah, just send up a gorilla suit for Halloween. No big deal. 216. Don't feed 50 starving families in Africa, for 2 years or whatever it is. We'll just send that up for Halloween. You want to send up a guitar, a pan flute, another flute, 2 guitars. We don't need, let's send up 2 guitars at that. It's only $400,000. Let's just do that, And you need a keyboard up there? No problem. Another guitar, send it all up. We'll send up a drum kit too. It doesn't matter because it's not real. Let's get another guitar because we need 4 guitars up there, and but even another one, because this is a different one too. I think we have a whole room that's just dedicated to guitars up there. I think they have a music room, actually. They have a music room and it's got a keyboard and a drum set and it's got like your choice of like 9 guitars and a couple, pan flutes and and you've got some bagpipes up there too, because the bagpipes weighs 8 pounds and it was only $435,000, $500,000 to ship it up there. So this guy could play some fruity song on the news, right? I mean, absolutely. Let's spend $500,000 on that. Let's send up 3 or 4 flutes too, because it only costs $43,000 to send up a flute, and that's science we have to do. But you know what? Send up 2 more flutes, because Katie should have 3 flutes up there. I think she should have a flute for every day of the week. Really, she should have different colored flutes: black ones, silver ones, gold ones. I think she should have a blue one too, possibly a red one. I don't know. And this astronaut, Naoko Yamazaki, she has a kodo up there, right? And you can't play the kodo if you're not in uniform, so send up the uniform too. And it was only $215,000 to send that up there. Why not? But you know what? You don't really have a band unless you have a saxophone player. So send that up too. It's only 6 pounds. It's just $260,000. And I don't think 1 saxophone's enough. You really need a backup sax player, right? And but at least you save some money. I respect you for that because you only spent $130,000 on that saxophone. And if tennis, we got to stay in shape up there. So I mean, it's only $27,000 for a tennis racket, and that's science. It's some kind of science. And everyone has the right to throw football in space. It's only £1 for a foot. It's only $43,000. So send it up there. I mean, these guys got to stay in shape. I get it. And don't send up one baseball or two. Send up 3 baseballs. Because the astronauts make money when they do this, right? When they supposedly take stuff into space and then bring it back, it's been in space. And I think all astronauts should be able to capitalize on that. What's wrong with that, right? You should be able to smuggle things into space. And I'm sure the administration has no problem with that. You can just take whatever you want up there. Just like this guy. He took a Lego model of the space station, which only weighed 1.5 pounds. It was only $70,000. I mean, did the administration say, sure, take it up there. Build some Lego toys up there. We don't care. Take Dungeons and Dragons up there. What do you want to take up there, really? It's up to you. Do you want to take Buzz Lightyear? Is that what you're into? Take Buzz Lightyear. It's only $100,000 for 2.3 pounds. Or do you prefer Kirobo? I mean, it was only $95,000 for Kirobo. He was a little bit less than Buzz Lightyear. So, sure. But some people prefer plush toys. And, I could have posted plush toys all day long. It would have been a whole video unto itself, right? Because they only weigh a couple ounces. It's only $20,000 to send up a plush toy. Or let's ship up this worthless robot that can't do anything. It can't. What can it do, right? Like you're not going to tell me this thing's sentient, right? It's not like this is just something they put it up there to dazzle, right? Like let's just give it a helmet and some weird legs, and we're going to act like it can do stuff. This thing would have cost like $5 million alone just to ship it there, right? And what can it do? Nothing at all. Can it make a hamburger for them? No. Can it make food? No. This guy, this is how laughable it is. John Young smuggled a corned beef sandwich into space, right? He took a corned beef. That's what you do. You just stick it in your uniform. No one, they don't pat you down. If you want to smuggle a flute or a corned beef hash or a bag of marijuana, really, it's all good. It's just space, right? It's not like the Air Force or something where they'd get all strict on you on that. You just take a corned beef hash up there with you. And their favorite thing to troll is Christians, right? Because if you type 666 days in space, you're going to come back with astronaut Peggy Whitson, right? She breaks the American spaceflight record. By the time Whitson returns to Earth in September, she will have 666 days in space. And this is corroborated by multiple news articles, right? CBS News, Peggy Whitson. Her total time in space will stand at 666 days, right? Here's a different article, phys.org, 666 days. Because, it's okay that 80% of the world is religious and follows some type of Abrahamic religion, and this is the mark of the beast. I mean, you wouldn't, what administration would back that day off a day or two or make it come back a day? I mean, it had to be that day. It had to. It's just that day she had to come back 666 days. So I think I'm near the end. I wanted to keep it short today. Wanted to start working on another video, but if you want to give me some love to my channels, I'm now on Rockfin at Yahtzee, yet another truther channel. All right, I'm deviating from the FE channel because I want to deplatform some trolls. And YouTube, I'm at Yahtzee, Twitter, Bobby Rolls, and Facebook, Bobby Rolls 2. Feel free to add me. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, take care.